Evergreen Media Network Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Welcome to Classic Car Radio. I'm Keith McDonald here with Steve Charbonneau, and we are back after what, 2 years, right?
2 years, yeah, 2 years.
Yeah,
plus,
it's been 2 years, and I just got the itch to come back and talk about cars. And people were bothering me too, like, you know, there I go, banging on the thing right away.
Leave me where you left off.
I didn't miss a step. We're still at it. I'm still banging my pen. I'll drop the pen 3 or 4 times during the show. Anyway, we're at Classic Car Radio. We used to be American Car Classics, but somebody took that name that I gave them, and we're back. And that's the music too that kind of reminds me of the old days. I'm gonna change that out too. So Steve, how you been? You're busy, right? You took over for Todd over at Todd Byron Restorations, and you also do collision now too. And
Yep. I bought his building and started my own collision center and automotive repair on one side.
Awesome. And you still do restorations, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. You doing any of those? Anything of interest?
I got a 66 Corvette going, a 62 Impala,
Wow.
56 T-Bird, a 63 C10, 64 Buick Riviera, and I got my 454 SS is getting done. And then I got another OBS truck that's getting done as well, and I got four more in the schedule.
So you're just not that busy, kind of busy, huh?
Yep.
All right. All right. So, you know, this is going to be a rough show. This is a soft boot, really, because Mike Carano and Todd Byron are both predisposed. Mike's up in New York with his family. I think he had a grandchild, maybe.
Yep, I believe that's what it was.
And then and Todd's at the Chattanooga Festival. So we're going to do what we used to always do, and then we might change the format as we go. But I guess we'll start with some news. We have news.
We do.
So a lot of times I just will spotlight great articles that I saw during the week. And one of those was take a moment when you get angry at a project car. Perfect for you.
Yeah.
Because there's, you know, those days where you work on your car and then it just gets you so pissed, okay? And you walk away and you throw something against a wall sometimes, you know, like a wrench or something, and you just give up and you don't think you can beat it. You go back the next day and it all kind of falls into place. But it's an interesting article how this is at Hemmings.com, by the way. Hemmings does the best articles, in my opinion. And they had all these tips to keep you from pulling your hair out, or Todd's case, pulling his ear off. And so anyway, so check that out. And have you ever run into a big wall, Steve, when you were doing a resto, like something that just really it just made you put it aside for a while?
Every day.
Every day. Okay. That's the short answer. Now I got to go to the next article or something, because you just killed me on that one.
Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes it's like it says, you got to take a break and walk away.
Right.
Because sometimes you get frustrated, and then you just got to take a break, calm down, and the clearer head will prevail.
Well, you have multiple cars, so you walk away from one, you go to another one.
Yep.
Right. So, okay. So press release, we got a press release from Mecum. Has like the golden Mecum auctions. For those who don't know what Mecum is, they auction off classic cars mostly, sometimes newer stuff. But Mecum, they had an inaugural, their first ever inaugural Tulsa, Oklahoma collector car auction, and they raked in $21.2 million. The first time, this is the golden touch they have. The first time that they do something in Tulsa, they pull in 21 million in sales. Imagine that. And that's I think they're up to 10% now, I think.
Yeah.
Commission. So they walk away just from sales for a couple of million, and then they have vendors, and they've got admission fee for all the spectators. They've got TV money. They've got just all the stuff. They sell the T-shirts. I always got to get a T-shirt when I go to Mecum, you know. So.
Well, they charge the seller and the buyer commissions.
Right. Yeah.
Because like when I sold my Camaro, I had to pay the 10%.
Oh yeah,
and the guy
you
who
have
bought
to
it
pay
had
to
buy it
get
too.
in. You get your car, and you pay more to get the better spots, like a Saturday or something.
Yep. You pay that and then your percentage.
So they had some Ford GTs there, and they were the top 10 sellers, of course. But some of these cars went for $330,000 a piece. And what else did they have? The top non-Ford GT was also a Ford Thunderbird 57 F code. And they got $203,000 for that. And then they got a Twister. A Mach 1, 1970 Mach 1 Twister fastback, and they got it at 165, and a couple of Corvettes that went for north of 160,000. Imagine that.
That's pretty good. Out of 660 cars, it said too they only had.
Yeah, 60. Yeah, they made all that money with just 660 cars. So they'll be back in Tulsa, and
Definitely.
When the registration is $350 for the early days, and then on the prime days like Saturdays, it's $1,000 just to run that car across. And if you don't sell it, if you don't let the reserve go, you lose that $1,000, right? They don't give you that back. So, okay. So anyway, that's cool. Every year now you'll see Mecum in June, second week of June in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which I have heard is a pretty cool place. And let's see. Let's go to the next one. I got to remember the timing, too, when we cut the commercials. So, Jesse, when's the commercial start?
Anywhere between 10 and 14 minutes.
Okay.
That area.
Okay. All right. So we can cut the commercial as soon as I, need to pee or something, whatever, So here's another one. A brilliant car thief decided that he would steal I don't know why, but he decided he'd steal a Kia Soul. And this guy was in Antioch, Tennessee. His name was Ronald Alexander, and he stole that Kia, and then he parked the car and he swapped out plates, which is good. If you're going to bring it to you don't want the police to find it. You put different plates on it. He was doing the right thing, but when he brought it into the chop shop, the police wanted to look at the car, and he left his wallet in the car. So what happened was he was arrested. The police knew his address and everything. So he's really not a very brilliant thief. So he won't be stealing Ferraris or anything like that in the future. Maybe he thought it was a career choice. But, start small with the Kia Soul. The Kias you can steal anyway, right? What is it they're doing to steal them? Have you read about that?
Something with the key ignition, but you can pretty much do that with any car now.
No, they got something like they can use their phones to unlock the cars.
Oh yeah, the apps.
Hyundai and Kia both. There's something wrong with the way their security system is, and so some of the states are suing Kia and suing Hyundai because of that. Because they're paying off on so many cars that are missing or chopped or just destroyed from being stolen. So. Anyway, there we go. There's 3 stories down the tubes. I don't know how we're going to make this, but we could talk about other stuff too. Here's one that I might be able to drag something out of you, Steve. On Jalopnik. No, I'm sorry. Hotrod.com. 50 tips to make your car go faster when you're working on your own car. Now, a lot of this stuff was for if you're drag racing. But I wasn't interested in that because a lot of guys just do their cars to just go fast and have fun and sound good. And but this was they had like buying slicks and putting 10 pounds of pressure in there or whatever, stuff like that. But there were a lot of good examples too, like let's see, not using too stiff a valve spring because you're actually going to wear down the whole system by just using the stiffer valve springs. And, it's going to load your camshaft, your cam bearings, timing chain, all that stuff, all that good stuff. Valve spring retainers, everything is going to wear quicker when you're using a really tight valve spring, right? So what do you tell people if they just say they want to, say a guy's got a a 350 Camaro? What are you going to tell them? I want to go faster, but I want to go cheap. What are you going to tell them?
Usually the first thing is headers, cam, carburetor, exhaust.
But if he wants to go cheap, he's not going to go cam, right?
Right.
He's going to go intake like a Edelbrock, yeah.
Set of headers,
and then
exhaust,
and then a better carb, of course, maybe bigger. And then there's weight distribution. Maybe put the battery in the trunk. Take out the back seat. Maybe take out all the seats, just the driver's seat, if you're really serious about it.
Sometimes you can advance the timing. Just little tricks. Advance the timing 2 degrees if it makes it better. A lot of times, if you give the car a little more timing, it'll give you a little more power.
So you can also increase compression by, well, that's more expensive, but if you use a thinner head gasket, you could tighten up that head shave. Yeah. You can tighten up the and have a higher compression ratio, and then I don't know. Another thing too they could do is the front tires. If you're really into drag racing, you could go with a smaller front tire.
Oh, the skinnies.
The skinny or skinnier at least. You still want to be able to drive it around, but also use higher air pressure so they roll easier. Keep them 4 or 5 pounds above, I would think, or some guys might even do more. But I would do that, and this just. I don't know. There's just a lot of things they can do.
And then see if it's a newer car, you can have it professionally tuned, or if it's an older car, you can still do the chips and all that stuff. Right. That makes a big difference too. Now, like you take a new Mustang and you have it tuned professionally, you can pick up anywhere from 50 to 100 horsepower, depending on how far you want to go. Right.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, let's cut to a commercial and as many as possible. So I'm just kind of getting settled back in here, man. This is it's fun though. It's fun. I'll be fine when we get the guys back. Mike will be making fun of me all week, so all night. So that'll be. Yep. I'll be making fun of him.
You'll have Todd up to his shenanigans and all that stuff. So that's fun.
Yeah. Todd will maybe mumble something for us. Okay, so we're Classic Car Radio in Vero Beach, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Star Quality Airman here. Even though it's autumn, that evil duo of heat and humidity can overpower a lagging unit. If your air conditioner needs more help fighting the heat, your air conditioning superheroes are here to save the day. When you need us, we're there. Star Quality Air.
Revive Vero Beach, located next to Anytime Fitness on Oslo Road and 27th Avenue, has everything you need to look and feel your best, including hormone replacement therapy, stem cell therapy, sexual wellness, weight loss, laser aesthetics, hair, tattoo, and skin spot removal, Botox and fillers, cryotherapy, comprehensive blood work, and everybody's favorite, ozone and IV therapy. Refresh, renew, and revitalize yourself at Revive today. Call 772-492-6607. A member of the iTex trading community. Your iTex dollars are welcome.
If you dream of creating a home with furniture where you make life one long weekend, visit Sunshine Furniture now and save 50% on all Tommy Bahama and Lexington during the fall savings event. Bedroom, living, and dining room, home office, media, and occasional furniture that is inviting and comfortable, Tommy Bahama and Lexington offer everything you need to furnish your Florida home. We're also having a huge half-price fall sale on lots of other coastal furniture by Universal, Hooker, Riverside, Seawinds, and Capri, including big sales on patio furniture by Berlin Gardens, Lloyd Flanders, Telescope, Kingsley Bait, and Windward. All pictures, lamps, and accessories are half price, and in-stock rugs are on sale too. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in Vero Beach, next to Planet Fitness. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com and be sure to shop our outlet store directly across the street.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Have a sunshine day. Sunshine.
It's hurricane season. Prune your trees now with Scott Tree Services. Strengthen your trees against high winds and remove broken limbs that could cause damage. Don't get nervous. Call Scott Tree Services.
Hi, this is Heather Hawk, host of Huntin' with Heather. Listen to my show for hunting tips and hunting stories from the perspective of a hunting gal. Tune in to Huntin' with Heather every other Sunday at 7 p.m. on your weekend home for the Evergreen Media Network, 107.9 FM and 1370 AM.
Advertising is essential. You've got to make people aware that you're there. We can do that with a cohesive marketing campaign from Evergreen Media. Based on your business goals, we'll create a mix of digital advertising on social media sites like Facebook, video advertising on streaming sites like Hulu and Paramount Plus, and supplement them with local TV and radio ads. Build awareness, educate, and inform the public with a cohesive marketing campaign by Evergreen Media. Check out egreenmedia.com or search online for Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Is that the same music? Oh, for God's sakes. It's okay.
Hey, some things never change. Old
We have
habits
like
die
8
hard.
songs you could... It's okay,
Throw
Jesse.
some other ones.
Jesse's just getting used to it, too.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're at Classic Car Radio at Vero Beach. Welcome back to the show. We're going to cut it to a half hour because we're just... we don't have the guys all here. And we're calling this the soft launch, all right?
Prelims, yeah.
Yeah, so let's do some auto history, and there's some stuff we can probably make fun of here. So we'll go back to October 7th, which is last weekend. Moving assembly line arrives. The Ford Motor Company announces implementation of moving assembly line for the Model T. This was huge. This is huge because now they all do that.
Yeah.
And even airplane, or jet manufacturers, they all do that because Henry Ford started this. And that was October 7th, 1913. And they sold like millions of those Model Ts.
And there's still some out there unbelievable.
Yeah, and you could only get black back then, I think they couldn't get color till the 30s. Maybe the late 20s. Yeah, you could get like a red or maybe a green, but not a big color choice. And then the Model A, that's when they really went with color. The next day, October 8th, 1955, that's an awful day. A tragedy struck the world. I was born that day. So,
and that's where it all started.
yeah, that's why I'm sitting here right now, and people are forced to listen to me. Maybe not. Maybe they could get out of it somehow. Anyway, that was, 1955. I was born on October 8th. That was just this past Sunday.
Happy birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. October 9th, 1946, the first phone conversation between a car and an airplane. They were both moving, and the plane had to fly really close by, but it was the first cell phone call. And now look at us. Now we have them like right next to us, and you can't get away from them.
Yeah.
And they're in your pocket. I mean, it's in my pocket when I go walking, and it's on my nightstand. Right near my head, so
People
can wake me up. I know it's ridiculous, and we're all tied to it. It's ridiculous, but we all like it. We like it. All right, here we go. I'm going to skip that one. October 13th, Mack Trucks trademark was used for the very first time. I'm sure all you truckers out there are listening, driving by on I-95. That was, October 13th, 1911, Mack Trucks. Mention that? They've been around that long. And finally, October 14th, 1899, the magazine Doubts the Automobile. Literary Digest declares that the ordinary horseless carriage is at present a luxury for the wealthy and will never come into common use. This is 1899.
That's just crazy.
No one's ever going to want to buy a car. This is just a fad they're going through. No one. We want to go back to the horses. We like shoveling the crap. Anyway, so that's your automotive history. I skipped a couple because we're going to get to some tech talk. Again, if you want to have your automotive questions answered, send an email to American Car Classics. I'm sorry, I'm still using that address, but I'll change that soon. AmericanCarClassics@gmail.com. And if you have a question, we can hopefully answer your question for you about your car. Once again, AmericanCarClassics@gmail.net. There'll be a new address next week, I promise. And we have some upcoming car shows. October 15th, 10:30, Cruising to Fall Car and Truck Show in Fort Pierce. October 21st, this is a big one. Because it's trunk or treat, and it's at the Dunkin' Donuts in Indy Atlantic, right near the water. Doug Flutie always shows up there with his Batmobile. That's always a great show. 200 cars, almost every time. You just go over that Melbourne Bridge, and Dunkin' Donuts is on the left, just north about 300 yards. Really easy to get to. Great show. Really good show. And so check that one out. That is on the 21st of October. 29th, the Panera Bread Classic Car Show, also in Melbourne. I assume it's at Panera Bread, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to jump way ahead. November 23rd is the beginning of the turkey run. Daytona Beach annual Daytona Turkey Run. That runs right through to the 26th. Are you going to that? You go to the turkey run?
If I get time.
I've never gone, but I heard, it's fantastic. It's only an hour drive from Palm Bay where I live, too.
I got one other car show we can mention that wasn't prepared because we're still getting used to it. It's October 21st. It is for the Henry Dana Foundation for the suicide.
Okay.
So there's be a car show October 21st. It is... Come on. It's 10 to 4.
Okay.
And it's at 31... If my phone will open the piece so I can read it. It's at Clover Park, 31 Plaza Drive in Port St. Lucie.
Okay.
It's 10 to 4. Registration is required. Just go to Hot Rods for Henry. It's for suicide awareness.
Oh, I saw that online. I forgot to put it down. I saw that. Sorry about that.
I'll be there, and then hopefully some other people will be there as well.
Do you know who Henry is?
Yep. Henry Dana was my ex-girlfriend's dad.
Oh, really?
I was pretty close with him. He was
okay.
Every time I went to North Carolina, he always invited me to stay with him, and then when he came down here, same.
All right, you ready for some tech talk? Because I know
ready. That's
what you do. And I even know some of these answers sometimes. So a guy named Ricky up in Palm Bay said, guys, I'm going to install a Fast 6 turbocharger kit on a 72 Dodge Dart Slant 6. And will there be a fitment problem? I've heard they make Slant 6s into little monsters. That's true, right? The Slant 6 will go.
They're torque
tough
monsters
engine.
pretty much anyways.
Really.
They're hard to kill.
If you install one in an early A body, there'll be zero room between the engine and the radiator for any sort of cooling fan. Depending on the car, you've either got to relocate the radiator forward or figure a way to mount the fan between the radiator and the grill. That's the easier way to do it. 67 and up cars, it should fit like a glove. Okay, that's Ricky up in Palm Bay. Now, he asked this question 2 years ago, so he's not listening. Okay, so here's a fun one. Owen from Palm Bay. This is another guy up in Palm Bay, and this really happened. I know you guys heard this sad story about this. You've heard this sad story before, but I have an 80 Camaro Z28. It has new Edelbrock intake, Holley carb on a 350 engine from a 72 C10 truck. It also has dual exhaust, but it does not have headers. However, it moves out well, but I'm constantly being embarrassed by my girlfriend who drives a stock 1996 Ford Taurus Turbo V6.
Yeah, the SHO, yep.
SHO. That's why she's beating him. So his girlfriend's always beating him with her 220 horsepower. He's probably pushing 180 on a Camaro 350 for 1980. Well, you might be lucky if he's at 200, but her car's a lot lighter too. Remember that.
Yep.
So anyway, what do we tell him? There's nothing he can do. Lighten up the car, I guess. Try to lighten it up. That's the best he can do.
Lighten up the car, and then
he's already done that. The intake stuff, right?
Yeah, intake, carburetor, cam, and then this thing probably because I actually have a couple of the. I got 81 Z20. It's got two of them. If it's still got the stock 308 rear, he probably wants to bump it up to 373. It'll get the slug moving.
Yeah.
That'll get the RPMs.
I had a 323 in my GTO, and that was good for highway. It would still move out pretty well. But yeah, if he wants to really move, he should go to the 373, definitely. All right, here's a guy. He calls himself Turtle. He wrote from the internet. My Uncle 69 442 convertible was given to me when he passed away a few years ago. And Jess, how much time do I have anyway?
About a minute.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Anyway, he wants... Okay. He wants to know, he had every intention of keeping it, but unfortunately he can't keep it because he wants to get an appraisal. So what would he do? How would he figure out what it's worth? I would say go to Haggerty, right? Haggerty and
then or just do some research too. I mean, that's right. I'll tell everybody, look on the Hemmings and see what they're going for.
Edmunds, yeah.
Hemmings too. They got their own website too.
Hemmings or Edmunds, yeah.
And then just look on the internet. Like there's the classiccars.com for sale, all that stuff, and see what they're going for too.
Right.
Do some research because you don't want to give it away, but you don't want to be super high on it
Right.
either.
It sounds like it's in pretty good shape. He didn't really elaborate too much on that one, but
Yeah.
he just wants a ballpark appraisal so he doesn't kill himself. But I'll tell you what, 69 442 convertible, he's going to get upwards of 50, maybe more,
Yep.
depending on what shape it's in, of course. All
For
right.
sure.
What do we got? What's the actual end time? I forget.
It should be 2450.
Oh, all right. We're going. We're going. We're gone. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week with a full hour. I'm Keith McDonald, Steve Charbonneau. Thank you very much. And thanks all for listening and watching on Facebook. Bye-bye.
We'll see you.